Senate Bill 1293. Any discussion? Representative Thielen.
Please note a with reservations for me.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Representative Ward.
Speaker, with reservations and a brief comment.
Please proceed with reservations.
Speaker, on the face of this, it doesn't look like a big deal. It only points out the small guys. If you're a sole proprietor, you got to meet certain standards. This and the previous bills that the Speaker Emeritus said with reservations, the fees, the escrows, the banking institutions, what we're doing is a creeping strangulation of competition. Speaker, you know I worked in the UN and I spent a lot of time in Europe because our headquarters when I was in Africa was in Europe, so I learned a lot about entrepreneurship that was going on in Europe because I was doing small business in Africa. What the Europeans have done is lift the threshold for entry into business by regulations, qualifications, fees, dues, insurances, and what have you, to only the big guys can make it. This is another one of these, it kind of grieves me that I see these that pick on the small guys. It makes the big guys with the fees who can afford these things well, without a problem, and I'm speaking to the other issues that Speaker Emeritus referred to. I think we have to keep an open field and an open market, Speaker, if we're going to be really entrepreneurially sound. And to have colleagues like my colleague from Laie bemoaning the fact that, hey, if you don't have 31 bucks an hour, you can't even buy a house. We got a bad economic model. We got a bad business model in Hawaii. 57% of our people can't afford to send their kids to school without a subsidized lunch. We need to generate jobs and good jobs, Speaker. And every time I see one of these bills, it grieves me that, you know, get the small guy, push him down. Don't let the sole proprietor become a partnership or a corporation and then hire people and become prosperous. We got to have a mindset that's slightly different from this, Speaker. And I'm not speaking from my point of view. I'm speaking from the reputation we have in this nation as anti-business, too regulated, too overly bureaucratic, and too much stuffed with our own self. We've lived off of our good looks for so long, we've stopped using our brains. And I think we got to get in our brains and stop picking on the small guys like this one does. Thank you for hearing my ventilation. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Members, further discussion on this measure? Representative McDermott.
No vote, Mr.
No vote? So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Representative Cabanilla.
Just note my reservation, Mr. Speaker.
So ordered. Thank you, Representative. Representative Fale.
Mr. Speaker, in opposition.
Opposition, please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, there's a lot of guys, a lot of workers in my community that are trying to get out of poverty. 79.2% of them are on subsidized lunches at the elementary school. A lot of them want to work. But the challenges that they face in getting into work that will actually be enough to raise them, their families, and their children in the way that they want, Mr. Speaker, it seems to be growing harder and harder every day. They definitely have a huge uphill battle, especially if you're in the situation of poverty, Mr. Speaker, and you're trying to rise out of it. There's roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. This, Mr. Speaker, continues to add some of those roadblocks to the members of my community that are trying to better their own lives and the lives for their families by making it that much more difficult to become an entrepreneur, to become an individual who takes the initiative to start their own business, to become their own person, and to succeed. And for those reasons, Mr. Speaker, I must be opposed to this measure.
Thank you,